Today I'm going to show you how to epoxy an anchor into a hollow masonry wall. And what we're working with is concrete block. These are actually cinder blocks. They're made from cinders. And what we're going to use is some Simpson product. We're going to use this anchoring mesh screen. And you fill this screen with, well, first off, let's start here. This screen requires a 3/4 inch hole in the masonry. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's right here on the cap and it tells you. So we're going to use a 3/4 bit to a masonry bit to drill the hole in the cinder block. Then we are going to clean the hole with vacuum, and then we're going to scrub it out with this nylon brush. Once this is inserted in the hole, we'll leave this cap off. We're going to fill it with epoxy. I'm using Set XP. It is a high strength epoxy. It is for rebar. It is for threaded rod. Once we fill the hole with the epoxy, we fill the screen up with the epoxy, we'll pop this cap into place, and then we will slide our threaded rod into it. And what happens is the epoxy will squeeze out through this screen and turn into a not quite a baseball sized clump on the other side of the block, but a decent sized clump. It'll set very hard, and this will never pull out. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Dirdorf, and this is Detroit DIY. Let's get started. I have my drill set in drill mode, and I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole through. Alright, that's what we got there. I'm going to go ahead and finish these up, and then we'll get them cleaned out. We'll show you that and how to install these anchors. All the holes are drilled, so what I'm going to do now is vacuum them out, clean up my dust a little bit. Then I'm going to take this brush and I am going to clean the holes more thoroughly. It's a nylon brush, and we just want to make sure we get as much dust out of those holes as we can. So as you can see, quite a bit of dust comes out when you pull the brush out 3 or 4 times, and you'll get most of that out of there. And that is how we clean those holes out. These are the mesh screens that I'm going to be using. They're a Simpson product. They're designed for epoxy. And I'm going to use Set XP. It is an epoxy, not an acrylic, and it is a high strength epoxy. So I've got the holes cleaned out already, so these sleeves just slide right in the hole. And then we're going to fill them with epoxy. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these sleeves in, then we're going to get this epoxy in. All my tubes are installed and I'm ready to install these anchors, but we have to get a good mix going in this epoxy. So I just want to push a little bit out. So we're just going to insert this in the tube. Push it in as far as it'll go and fill it up. There we go. We're going to pop the cap on. And we're are going to slide the threaded rod in, twisting it to get the epoxy in the threads good. Going to make sure that it's straight. There we have it. Okay, I was a little bit disappointed to see. I thought this epoxy was just going to be white. I squirted out quite a bit, but as I started filling a couple of the tubes, it changed colors. So I had to push out more epoxy than I thought I should have to get the two parts to mix together. A little bit disappointing that much epoxy has to be wasted to get the mix, but I finally got the mix. As you can see, we've got the gray color in here, so I'm going to go ahead and refill these. I had to scrap 4 screens, get them filled up and get them in. Okay, I'm on the second tube now, and I just want to show you how long it takes for this to mix up. That's a lot of wasted product. I'm a little disappointed in Simpson that I'm wasting this much product to get the mix. Maybe the 2 tube cartridges would have been better. Still no mix. That's about half of the tube now. Still no mix. Here it comes. So it's starting to mix now. We finally got into a usable mix. That's about half of the tube. Really disappointed in that. All the anchors are installed, and I had to use a little tape to support them. As you can see, they were just kind of sagging down a little bit, so I got up my little level and I used the tape to hold them all level. Now they have to cure for 24 hours, which will be tomorrow morning, and then I will get the ledger board installed. I'd like to thank you for watching, and if you would, click on one of those 2 videos. They're going to pop up right there. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Tony Iconelli and Brett Wimmer, because none of this could happen without them.